Okay, so it's raining today, and because it's wet, I'm not going to go outside and get my weapons wet and need to clean them. So I'm going to do a more theoretical thing today. I'm going to talk about blocking. I'm going to start with the basics. And this is an essential skill. If you don't know how to block, you don't know how to fight. So you start by taking up your fighting stance. Yeah. Now, I'm going to start without a shield. I do have my shield with me, as you can see behind me. So, retaliation to the 8s, a control. Then there's a simple match. Now, the way we teach you this at the beginning is very basic, very simple, and it's very important. We want you to imagine you're in a box. Really simply, headshot comes in, go to the top of the box. Now you can see I'm holding a sword, so as I block, that points there. That's really the lid of the box is flat. Not that the camera's at a slight angle, so the roof looks slightly off. So that's flat. Slightly like that with a sword, because your palm's there to grab it. You might need to go to hammer grip. If someone's putting in a strong blow, hopefully not towards your head, you might prefer to go hammer grip. It is strong. Otherwise, pinch grip, go up, separate it. Now, you're from guard to this shoulder as attacked to there. Don't need to go any further. Don't need it all right the way out here. That's actually a bad block. Quite simply because if you're out there, he's just going to come round, or you're going to be pushing out as he's drawing back and coming for another shot. And then your next offence will bring him in. So that goes to there. Your next is there. Just outside the shoulder, just outside the target zone. Now, people will show you two ways, and people feel comfortable doing these different ways. I've always preferred, this feels natural with a block to the waist, between the nipples and the waist, because your sword's already up and got a lot of sword to go down. However, and there's nothing wrong with it on its own. However, when we come to doing para-ripostes and things, it's hard to do a para-riposte from there. You've only got really the enemy shoulder and their side open, and really only the shoulder feels natural. So try and get in the habit of bringing your sword down, and if you're very comfortable, because I'm not wearing gloves today, it's really easy. Going down, shifting from your pinch grip to a hammer grip if you want a strong block. And likewise on that side. Again, it's really easy to get out of there. But everything you come over is going to start looking like a headshot. Right. Now your last two is your thighs. So if they come this side on your thigh, just drop it. Drop and clear. You want the handle about waist height. And likewise on this side, drop and clear. And lastly, you've got the thrust, which isn't going to play a big part in the conversation, but I'll do it now. As he thrusts in, you clear. And actually that's quite a nice one for a riposte from. You clear it and come round. So that's it really, that's the basic box, the box. I will highlight, they're exactly the same with the axe. The only difference being when you go for that, if you're not completely level, have it tilted that way. Because the hook of the axe head will protect the person next to you. Going that side, you've only got your fingers to stop it sliding off. But otherwise, it's exactly the same. Sorry, there's something actually there just off camera that I'm trying not to hit. So. Box again. Now, what I want to think about a little here is how that adjusts as you get competitive and as you get into a more serious fight. This isn't really an advanced technique. I mean, there's advantages to doing it like that. So the person comes in, you block high shoulder, you're sort of in a nice position to come around with the riposte where you don't go back to guard. So you go block. Yeah, you go block, drop down, waist. You're not going to be doing this without a shield. If you've lost your shield, there's a problem already. But rather than going right the way out to the edges of the box, what you might find as you get more competitive is movements come from. And this is where bending your legs is a real advantage, because I can do that. But see, I didn't actually move my shoulder there. I turned my hip. Came to there. As that comes down, I'm already starting to think, particularly if I'm doing active shield, I will have brought them across and come across, and my sword will flatten out and I'll often get a kill. With the thighs, in a more competitive fight, you're still dropping down, but you might just be knocking it below the knee. In a proper fight with a proper sword, as you did that, you'd be bringing your knee back, or you'd be stepping back. You wouldn't be leaving your leg there. But in reenacting fencing, if you can get that below your knee, get it on your knee but it hurts, then you can knock it down. That's easy with a shield though. And so, come in with your shield, bring your sword and shield out. Already you can see in a competitive fight, I've got certain areas that they can't attack. If I go for that knee, particularly if I go a little lower, which I can when I'm in full fighting shape, that knee is already well protected, this shoulder's protected. An axe might drop over there. I can protect my waist, a simple twist of the hip. That's really important against lefties. Lefties will come for this nice open gap they've got there. They're used to having it. What I don't want to see is that, because the guy's just gonna, he's just gonna do another attack. He's just gonna go continual attack and change sides. So all of a sudden you can see you don't need to be quite so active. That's the big gap. And at worst, if I go to there, I'm going to be coming over to get their attention on this side and hopefully to counter. But yeah, I mean, when you watch skilled warriors fighting, they're not necessarily going to here. Shouldn't be going to there anyway, because they'd sort of be going in. They certainly won't reach over their shields with their sword. Their sword will be here. If they want to engage the enemy sword there, their shields will go, because they know where the sword is. If the sword comes under, they rely on their distance and their footwork and pressuring their attack back on the opponent themselves. So it's just a few thoughts on that. Not really a lot more to say, so I'm going to sign off this one and go and grab a spear.